Can I come in, Juan?
Come on in. Welcome to my Thor Hurricane 35M interior view here. I want to show you what it looks like and some of the upgrades that we've done over the last 6 months or so. As you can see, there's plenty of room in here, but we'll start off from the beginning of the coach.
There we go. Sounds
so as
good.
You can see here, I'm trying to make the most use out of every single space that's available here, to include the table where we set up our Keurig and plug it into a plug that's inside there, so that way it doesn't eat up our counter space for such a large appliance.
Right.
One of the upgrades I've done is I've separated my radio from my cameras. It has 3 cameras, backup camera and the 2 side cameras. And the little $20 monitor I bought off of Amazon, I was able to connect it and splice it in, so now my radio works the GPS and the radio, and the cameras are separate, because there was a time when you would hit the turn signal and it would turn off my GPS. So now it doesn't interfere like that. The other upgrade I've done up here is I've put aluminum on all the windows. I bought a roll of this aluminum at Lowe's, really cheap stuff, and I sized them and cut them out. And before, this area would get so hot it was almost unusable, but now the temperature stays almost exactly the same between here where the windows are and back here where there are no windows, allowing us to actually use the space here more.
All right.
One of the features of this Hurricane 35M is the extra bed here that comes down. It's about the size of a full-size bed.
Oh wow, didn't even know that was up there.
Yeah, it's a pretty big bed. There's plenty of, I mean, it comes down even further, but I'll spare the headache. But I mean, my daughter has slept up here, my sister-in-law has slept up here. There's a ladder that hooks up right here.
Okay.
And then it comes down, so
right,
you can access, and then of course, when they're not using it, we close it back up, and it's not, like you said, it's even hard to see it, that it's even there.
Yeah, I didn't even realize that was there.
Some people call it a Johnny bed. I think I've heard it on YouTube, but I think the term is actually hydraulic bed.
Okay. Hydraulic bed, Johnny bed, drop down bed,
hideaway bed, whatever you want to
hideaway. There we go. Now look, and there's Juan, or there's Sean.
Hey guys.
Sean, Juan. Come on in, Sean.
So dinette table here folds into a bed. There's space underneath it.
Okay.
Pretty good use of
like
space
storage
there.
space?
Yeah, it's got a really long drawer.
Oh wow.
Not really a really long drawer, but it's got a pretty good little drawer. We stuff stuff in
Right,
there.
right.
There's a plug under there, and like I said, they've made some pretty good use of space. One weird thing is, since this is a driving coach, the seat belts come in here, out of here, so you can ride back here.
Okay. You got small children or whatever, grandkids, you know, they can sit in the back.
Strap them in.
And there you go. Safety first, right?
Right. Full microwave, kitchen's propane. It's got the 70, I think it's a 70-30 split on the sink where you can use half of it, because again, counter space in most RVs seem to be
limited.
Real estate, right?
Correct.
This is a full house refrigerator.
Residential,
which means that when I'm not on power or shore power, I have a 2,000 watt inverter or converter. I can't remember what the correct terminology is, but it'll run the refrigerator, it'll run the TV, it'll run some outlets in the front.
Okay.
Just so you don't have to be without during that time. This whole section here has been renovated. I bought this coach 2 years old, and the original drawings had a couch here and a cabinet here, but the previous owners went ahead and put the 2 chairs. That's why they're different colors. Apparently they didn't have time to wait for the correct ones, but it doesn't bother us.
Well, maybe he liked his chair brown and she liked her chair green.
Maybe
you know,
so.
I don't know.
But they recline back, they lay back. They're really comfortable chairs, and then the fireplace, which has a remote control. It has all the toys on it. TV pops out here. If you wanted to watch TV from the front of the coach, you can pull it out and do it. On this side over here, we've got a cabinet with a built-in washer and dryer combo. It's not a very big one. I mean, if you see, I'm a normal sized guy, and you could see that it's just a little bigger than my hand, so it's probably 12 inches. It might get a half a load, maybe 3/4 of a load, but hey, I'd rather have it.
I think it's more just a wash the clothes you wore that day while you're going to sleep, and then there you go.
Yeah, exactly. You're camping, you're not living, I guess. Some people do live in them, but I put these straps in here because I got tired of stuff falling on me. And one of the things that I've done that's different than a lot of other RVers is that I have this basket in here of miscellaneous stuff. But inside this basket is everything I want to be recharged, and it's always being recharged at all times. So I got walkie-talkies, I got a drill battery, I got two flashlights, and I even put my mobile hotspot AT&T sometimes in there. So that way I know that it's always charged up, and I never have to worry about.
So kind of like I believe it was last night when you wanted to do something and your buddy didn't charge his radios, but you were charged.
Yes,
and
mine are always ready to go. And
maybe we should fill that guy Sean in on how to charge that stuff. There you go. Get him a milk crate.
Yeah. So this particular coach has 1.5 baths. So there's a full bath in the back, which we'll get to. But this behind this door is a half bath with a toilet and a sink. But this particular upgrade is something that I'm certain no one has. I've upgraded the toilet, and it's really, really heavy on sewer removal. There's nothing like it. You're going to be the first ever to see it.
Okay.
But it's just the design of the toilet. So if you go in there and take a look at the bathroom and then open up the toilet and look at the design of the commode, the inside. You got to look at the inside to really get a... To really... To really understand, I mean, that is a shit-eating toilet right there. That'll really get
great.
It. That'll really get it right there, man.
That is great.
It's no one else has it. I don't know what.
No, I don't think. I
don't think you do. Like, so it's just. But it's really convenient having the half bath up here, where when everything is closed up, the bed will be blocking the back, but we can still enjoy our coach because we can still use this bathroom during the course of our trip. This is a king size RV size bed, so it's king wide, but it's a little shorter. So I'm 6 foot tall, and my feet will be even with the edge, but my head will be just about touching the headboard. But hey, it's long, it's wide, and it serves every purpose we need here.
All right. Looks like you got plenty of storage, overhead storage up there as well.
One of the weird things this camper had was there used to be a radio right here.
Oh.
Right there. There used to be like a car stereo here.
Wow. That's kind of weird.
And
placement.
It was very weird because those speakers there underneath and then the speakers from the outside were controlled by this radio inside. So if you're outside running a barbecue and you want to change a station or turn up the volume, you'd have to walk inside to turn, because those 4 speakers were ran by this radio.
About that, it's really weird.
It was dumb, it was weird, it was silly, so I changed it to where those speakers are now dead. I haven't had a chance to connect them to the front radio, although my wife and I don't listen to the radio over our head, so we don't need it.
Right.
When we have the radio on, I can hear through here, so it's not a problem. But
which is good, seeing how you're deaf anyways.
Yeah, I'm half deaf anyway, so maybe I just plug in one speaker, So,
you don't need to plug in the left one, you'll be all right.
The left one is my good ear, the right one, turn it off. But I put in a stereo outside, which you'll see on the outside tour, that I put one outside to where I can take advantage of those speakers that are outside. And I killed these because I don't need them. Maybe one day I'll do something with them, but.
Right.
One of the things I've done, I didn't mention when I passed the TV, this coach has 3 TVs, two 32-inch, one 43. And one thing I did just last week is I upgraded these 2 inside TVs because the outside TV was already upgraded. Believe it or not, this 2017 coach came with 2 TVs inside that were not cable ready. In other words, it would pick up antenna from the airways, but it would not pick up cable TV, no matter how many times you scanned it and changed the settings. So I looked it up and found out that it was true. So I just went ahead and replaced them with Walmart. I paid $212 for 2 TVs, one 43-inch, one 32, and it looks amazing. The picture quality is, again, I'm holding it to, I want good quality, but again, it's still camping. So I don't need to have some theater or anything like that. I just want to catch the Weather Channel or something.
Right.
Let's see, coming through here, plenty of drawers, plenty of cabinets. Cabinet back here, which is kind of a neat little use of the space, you just just shove. It's got plenty of room in there for stuff, and then they got some weird cabinets and can't do much with those.
Just make use of the space. I mean, you never know when you need to store an extra toothbrush somewhere.
Right. That's right. And then here's the full bath here, as you can see. It's full bath, large shower. The shower is probably twice the size of my original trailer I had.
Make sure Michelle isn't going to kill me for showing her shower. But I mean, it's a decent full size. You're a 6-foot guy, and you can stand up in there.
Yeah, and I can stretch my arms and not bump the shower curtain or the walls. It's plenty good. And I bolted that up to the corner, and when I travel, all the soap and stuff stays up there. So it's been pretty good use.
Now, is this an aerator shower head on there?
It is an aerator. I upgraded to the aerator, and it works pretty good. It just puts more bubbles. I don't know if anybody's ever shown you, but it's still the same amount of water. It's just that it puts air in it, so it gives you the impression of more water. But I like it. It's been a benefit,
right,
to the camper. So,
and stainless steel sink, more cabinets and another commode.
Plenty of room, and it's everything that you would want or need. It's been a good use of our. It's been a hell of an upgrade compared to the trailer we used to have.
And that was what I was just going to ask you, because you mentioned all your upgrades that you've done, and I'm just going to set this down over here. And what made you decide to go from a bumper pull travel trailer to a Class A with a toad?
I do tow my Traverse. It came down to the truck. So the trailer we had met all of our needs. There was nothing wrong with it except the shower was too small. So there were two major strikes against the first, because it was also our first one. We didn't know what we were looking for either. So we bought something that was pretty and it was cheap and it met our needs. The problem had two big strikes. Number one, I'm not lying when I tell you, I'd stand in the shower and my shoulders would either hit the wall and or the shower curtain in one direction, and then when you turn the other way, if I lean back a little bit, my back would touch against the shower curtain, and it just feels weird when you're taking a shower.
Yeah, you gotta have some room to maneuver.
Yes, right. So that was one. And the other thing, believe it or not, that I thought although it wasn't as big as the first one, it was that when it was closed up, you could not use the coach except the very, very front.
Right.
So the slide would block the bathroom door, and if you're traveling, you would have to open the slide out to use the bathroom, which sounds petty, but
it really isn't. I mean, and that's one thing I've heard over and over and over from many different people, and I've seen on other reviews and things like that, is if you cannot use it, why go into a nasty truck stop bathroom when you have a bathroom right behind you?
Right.
But if you can't get to it.
Yes.
You know, I mean, and people, that is a huge thing for people. Same with it blocking their fridge.
Yeah.
If they can't stop to make their sandwiches, they got to make their sandwiches before they go, put it in a cooler, and take it in the truck with them.
Right.
You know,
so that was a big deal. This particular RV, everything closes up and you can still access all the way to here with no problem. And you can actually lay in bed with no problem without opening. If you want to take a shower, you'll just have to crawl over the bed, but you can still access it.
Right. Where
my previous RV was 28 feet. It was a nice coach. I loved it. Then the third thing, the reason we traded up was my truck just really, it could pull the weight because the trailer only weighed 5,500 pounds and then full was about 7,500 pounds, 7,000 pounds. But you start negotiating semi decent hills, not even mountains, because here in Florida where it's flat, there's a few hills where it's like, damn, I can't believe my truck's working this hard.
Right.
So I thought, well, maybe I'll upgrade my truck. Well, the truck I wanted almost cost because those diesels can be really expensive.
Yes, they can.
You can spend $60,000 on a diesel, and I just thought to myself, well, if I'm kind of not happy with the RV anyway, and I'm just looking at a diesel for that, and I love my truck, then why don't I just keep my truck and upgrade the RV? And that's how we came into this one. So for just a little bit more than what the price of a diesel was, I bought this one.
Okay.
And it's been everything that I wanted with regards to all of our needs, my wife's needs and all of our fun needs as well. Yeah.
Any regrets with the upgrade? Anything you don't like about this one?
It's a lot more expensive. So you go from a $25,000 RV to a $80,000 RV in a matter of a snap of a finger, and then so that's a big thing. The negative is gas mileage. I get about 10 miles per gallon, about 8 when I pull my Traverse. But when I'm pulling my trailer with my Silverado, I was getting 11 miles per gallon with my Silverado. So
right. So really,
it's kind of a wash in that scenario.
Right.
And then obviously things are just more expensive when something in here breaks. it just costs more than my other trailer.
Right. It's kind of like when you got a unleaded vehicle when it breaks, and then you have a diesel when it breaks.
Right.
So things are going to be a little more expensive.
Yes, yes.
But you're paying for the convenience and the luxury of a lot of it. So.
Yeah, it's one of those where it's like a boat. If you don't want to pay maintenance fees and fix things every now and then that you're not gonna be happy with, then don't get a boat.
Right.
Because boat stands are bust out another $1,000. So
right.
I mean, it's boats are expensive and RVs are expensive, and
correct.
And you don't buy an RV because it's cheaper to stay in an RV than it is to stay in a hotel, because that's a bunch of bullshit too. Because it's cheaper just to stay in a hotel, and you can get 30 miles per gallon in your car and drive to a hotel. That's not a thing.
Right.
You get an RV because you find fun in the setting up and the tearing down and the travel and the voyage and the friends
and the freedom,
and
just the freedom of just being able to go and park wherever you want,
not being tied to one area. You can kind of I'm a traveler during the week as my personal business, and I spend $150-200 a night at a Marriott, where some of these RV camps are $20-30 for the night, and
right.
everything that I own is right here, so it's my stuff, you know. Everything, it's my TV, it's my smells, it's my feel on the bed. It's not whatever the last guy left for me, you know. It's not like that.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So and I enjoy when my wife comes as well, because everything is together. It's like a unit. Everything
right. So you do use this while you're for work as well.
I've used it once for work, but we still have a daughter in high school. She'll be graduating next year, which at that point we will be substituting my airfare travel to take this with my wife, and I just want more freedom at that point.
Right.
Okay. We'll tow my wife's Traverse, which we outfitted it to be towed, to give us the option to, when we get somewhere, we can still cruise around and leave the RV hooked up.
Right. Don't have to take your house down to Walmart if you.
Right. I ran out of toothpaste. I got to take my house to Walmart. That's a good point. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So
right.
It's been a blessing. I haven't got any negatives other than fuel economy is bad. Space at gas stations can be tricky. You know, I prefer pilots because they have dedicated RV towing pumps. So when you go to a pilot, most of them have pumps set aside where novice drivers, I'm a novice, can pull in and not be a threat to other drivers or the trucks, you know.
Right.
And as a good SAM member, I get a nickel off every gallon. It doesn't sound like a lot, but I got an 80-gallon gas tank, and it adds up after a trip, you know.
Hey, those nickels can add up a lot quicker than pennies, so.
They do. About 5 times, just so you know.
Yeah, 5 times.
Yeah,
okay.
5 times, yeah.
Right,
5
right.
times, yeah.
He's got jokes too. On top of my picture in the toilet, he's got more jokes. So.
Yeah. So no, I can't think of any other negative with regards to the camper. It's all been positive, and we've been enjoying the hell out of it.
All right, cool. Well, I appreciate you letting us have a look into your trailer. Beautiful trailer. Or excuse me, camper. You're not in the trailer anymore.
That's a coach. I think they call it a coach.
The coach. The coach. It's
right.
Beautiful coach, and I appreciate your time sending us through it.
No problem. Take care.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us as we concluded our review of a Thor Hurricane 35M motor coach. We really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click that thumbs up button. If not, well, go ahead and click the thumbs down button and leave a comment letting us know how we can improve our future videos. If you want to be the first to see our future videos, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Until next time, stay safe and enjoy your travels.